Welcome back to the MP Motorsport podcast. I'm still Gaita,
Still Robert.
and with us today is...
Felipe Drugovich.
All right, so just give a small introduction about yourself to the people who wouldn't know you by now.
So I'm driving for MP Motorsport in F2.
Mm-hmm.
Started with them this year, already in F2, but have known them for a little while now. But finally we got to work together this year, and it's been pretty exciting year until now.
Yeah.
We can concur. So this is your first year in MP Motorsport right now. Was it a lot of change to adapt to a new team, or did this go very smoothly for you?
I think since my first year in Formule Cars, I actually never repeated a team years, so I'm quite used to this, and especially I think people are really nice here and they really helped me, so that I'm already used to it, and they also helped me in this transition, so it's quite let's say easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite good to have these kind of people around you and help in this let's say adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because from what I've gathered, you started karting in Brazil.
Yes.
So you moved on from there. You moved to Italy.
Yes.
Yeah. So how's that transition been for you? I know it's been a couple of years probably by now, but
No, it's actually been quite a lot more. It's I moved to Italy in 2014.
okay,
Oh, yes.
it's been 6 years already.
Yeah.
Wow. Time
Actually, I raced in Brazil until 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 13 to 15, I raced in go-karts in Europe. So then
Okay.
in 14, I moved to Italy, basically because I was with a Cosmic Racing Team, which is basically Tony Kart, or it's based in Italy. So I moved close to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just needed a place to live close to the
Yeah.
team and in Europe, not to go back to Brazil every time. And I studied there, and then it's been a little bit difficult at the beginning just to adapt, and also because I started studying in Italian school, another international school.
Yeah.
So then I had to learn the proper Italian and
Okay.
stuff like that. So was not easy, but happy with what I've done.
Did you have to do a lot of preparation beforehand, or was it the one moment you were in Brazil and the other moment you're like, oh damn, we're going to Italy, and you didn't have time to prepare, or did you have?
No, I think it was pretty smooth because already the year before I was already going and coming back. But then when I went to Europe, I would stay 1 month or something like that. So you'd already get used to it. And so the time I moved, I didn't move, let's say, directly. I just came, stayed 1 month in the hotels. I was like, maybe I should stay here, proper living. And then I just tried to rent a house and stuff like that. And then we rented it. And then from there on, I just kept staying here all the time until I, let's say, properly could say I moved to Europe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anything? I mean, I'm quite interested because you started in Brazil. It's like not really a world where we come into contact with. Is it quite the same as here with go-karting, or is that different in Brazil?
No, I think motorsport in Brazil is quite a famous sport, I would say. And karting is also really, I think, let's say, karting is pretty strong. I would say Europe is stronger, but if you just take Europe, you're just gonna take Italy as the strongest place.
Yeah.
But I think karting in Brazil is pretty strong, and most of the drivers that come here, that win there and come here, they do well. So I think in the end it's pretty similar. It's just racing.
All right. So there's no culture change between the two. It's just for motorsport. I mean.
Yeah. There is culture change.
Okay.
I think into Europe. I think obviously when you come to Europe, you're gonna do World Championship and European Championship, and that's for sure a bigger championship than national ones.
Yeah.
So that's for sure more professional. Everybody's working properly, and for sure more pressure. Let's say in Brazil, it's more relaxed and everybody's friends with everybody. But I think that would happen with any national championship karting.
Probably,
I think,
yeah. Once you get to know each other.
Yeah.
All right. But then you moved to Europe. You did one last championship of karting here, and then you moved to German F4.
Yeah, German F4, and it was the move. I think it was right to do. From going from karting 2015 just into 2016, I thought I had to move to Formula. Wasn't a year like a good year, but I would say this decision was made either staying go-karts 1 more year or going to formulas. And we chose going to formulas, not even with a good team, just like a year, not focusing on any results, just to get used and drive formulas,
get the experience. And
even because I didn't test so much before. I just did a year, let's say, free of compromises or anything. Just trying to have fun and learn a little bit of the cars. And then after that, I did the second year in German F4, which was a proper year. Had the most victors of everybody. Missed out on the championship at the end, but it was quite good.
Yeah, I have here that you were third that year in
Yeah.
2017. So
That's what Richard said as well in the previous podcast, that you staying in karting for longer is just not worth it anymore. If you can, just go to the formulas as fast as you can, because it costs basically so much to stay in karting right now that you can better go to Formula faster and learn more and learn faster than just staying that extra year in karting. So maybe clearly it was the right choice.
Yeah, I think also because karting, if you want to be fast, because you have the opportunity to test as much as you can, not like formulas that is limited. And karting, you just, if you want to be fast, you have to test, and because it's free, you're gonna test a lot, and that's how you spend crazy money on that, which like Richard said, maybe it's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but then it was also in 2017, 2018 you did the MRF challenge, which is an Indian racing?
It's in between 2016 and 17, and in between 17 and 18.
All right.
So it's basically just a championship in the Emirates and also India. That it's made for the European drivers that want to keep going during the winter.
So you just didn't stop racing the last 3 years, basically.
Yeah.
Wow, it's must be nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's just 4 races during the winter, so.
All right, it's not because I've never heard of it. I had to look it up. But it seemed like not a lot of races, but like India-based or more Asia-based.
Yeah. I mean, first year I think was Abu Dhabi. No, sorry, it was Bahrain, Dubai, Chennai, and New Delhi. And then second year was Bahrain, Dubai, something else, and then Chennai. So it's around there. So it's kind of strange.
And how do you experience that? Because coming from Europe, I suppose it's kind of another feeling that you get when you're driving there, or is that basically the same?
No, that's basically the same. I think drivers are the European drivers that want to keep going. So engineers are European engineers that they want to keep going as well.
Okay.
So it's basically the same thing. Only thing different is that the organizer and also some of the mechanics are Indian, but that's
basically the same car and everything as well.
It's we use the Dallara chassis, Dallara chassis with some upgrades that they do it, which is, I would say, it's similar to a Formula Renault, maybe a little bit quicker than a Formula 4, but it's same.
Cool.
All right. And then you did Euro Formula, but that's around the same time, and then eventually Spanish F3, which you won. Maybe for the people who listen, F3 beforehand, GP3 was split up between regionals. Now it's one European, more like European championship.
Now it's Formula 3 is just one formula.
Yeah, but those you all won. So
actually, Euro Formula and Spanish F4 was actually only Euro Formula.
Okay.
And 3 of these rounds of Euro Formula consisted to the Spanish F3 because.
All right. So they weren't really separate from each other. They were just the same championship is just split up between.
Yeah, it's only Euro Formula, but some of these races in Euro Formula they count points for the Spanish
right.
F3.
Yeah.
So they make like a championship just
Okay.
from the Euro Formula. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you win one, you win the other by default, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's nice.
So how were those races for you? Were they-
I think that's probably one of my best years.
Up until now.
Up until now, yeah. That's why I didn't say it was. That's why I didn't say it was my best, because this year has been pretty good. So
yeah, of course. We'll get to that.
But
in a
until
second,
until the beginning of the year was my best year. I think also from my performance, I tried to look at it quite a bit on my side, how I've driven, if I missed out on opportunities, if I had made mistakes or stuff like that. And also that year I was pretty much bang on all the time and doing my job and not making any mistakes. So it was a really nice year, and I think I won out of 16 races. I won 14, so it was pretty dominant. So yeah.
I wouldn't call it pretty dominant. I would just
That's
call it very dominant.
Domination, yeah, that's the definition.
It's very nice.
And then to get to last year, you raced with Carl and Buzz, but I'll be honest, your results weren't really there. Was that also just a year you chose to do like more experience than something else, or was it just not your year?
No, it was not the team's year.
Okay.
We're not fast at all. I think I think the whole team. I think nobody was missing, let's say, the will of winning, and everybody was trying to win and trying to be better, but we just couldn't improve the team and then the car, and it was pretty much a mess inside the team. So nothing worked. Our best result was a 6th place in Budapest, which was pretty incredible for the potential. I think the drivers were actually quite good. If you see also Logan Sargent, he was my teammate last year. We didn't do anything the whole year, and now he's leading the championship.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
just one of those years.
Yeah, one of those years that we didn't have any pace at all. So yeah, but it's just. It's
an experience. You learn from it and you move on.
Yeah,
like that.
Learn from it and try to forget everything else.
I guess it's also that's also experience that counts, and to keep yourself going mentally.
Yeah,
I think that is something you can, I guess, get a lot back from. As in, if something would go wrong this year or next year, you'll be like, okay, but I've gotten through this previous year where it didn't go well, and then you still come back and you now know that you can, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I think after last year, coming into this year, it was quite tough mentally, because you finish the year completely devastated, that you don't know if it's a car or if it's you, and then so it's not nice, but if you do like, okay, it was really nice this year that I come back and already win a race in first weekend, so then your confidence level goes
you can confirm to yourself that you're actually a good driver. You just had some bad luck, and you can bounce back from anything basically.
And for sure it helps a lot in the future.
Because it's been nice watching you're basically on fire.
Yeah, I mean, there's no superlative I can use that just accurately describes it, but it's I mean, first weekend you're 8th, the first race, and then second one you're just you just win. I mean, how's that been? Because you've come from, I don't want to say terrible, just not a good year.
I can say terrible.
All right, okay. I'll use that word. But you come from a terrible season. You move from F3 directly to F2. You don't do a second season with another team. You just go one up.
Which is
a big jump, I imagine.
Yeah. I think car performances is not as big as it seems.
Okay.
Lap times are not that different from F3 to F2. It's probably the level and everything you need to learn, because they have pit stops and longer races, and time management is much more than F3.
More technical stuff.
Yeah. But most of the guys that have been competing since go-karts, and they were in F3 with me last year, they were moving up to F2. So then it wasn't I think the right choice to stay one more year in F3.
Yeah.
I think I would learn more if I had the opportunity, also financial and everything. So
of course.
we could find this opportunity and to go to F2, and I think it's paid off quite a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
The F2 car definitely suits you better.
Yeah, I mean everybody's saying that, but I don't think that. It's just this year everything is going smooth, and last year it didn't go.
Everything clicks, and that just plays in your all right
advantage. Yeah, exactly.
No, but you've won 2 races now, so that must be quite a feeling, I think. Man.
Yeah. It's quite a amazing feeling. If you would have told me last year that I would have won 2 races until half of the season this year, I wouldn't have believed. And also won pole position. So probably the pole position sometimes gives even more confidence than the
I can
race
imagine,
wins. And I think the pace has been pretty good, and we've been evolving quite a lot. So we have to see now the second part of the season how we evolve, but so far so good.
Let me restart that. Sorry, I've asked the other drivers as well, like. If you have a race weekend where you always race 2 races, if you have a bad or a not so good first race, how do you mentally cope with it to get back into that second race and just go for it and get that win? And for example, what kind of technical assistance do you have to see, like, okay, there I went wrong, of this I can do better to get that better result in the second race?
So the technical assistance is basically the whole team and data that we can analyze. So the team helps a lot. We have a good engineer, mechanics, and everything to analyze what went wrong and how you can make sure it's going to be good in the next one. Not make sure, but try to make sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think mentally it depends. It depends how you work mentally and how your position finishes. I think if you finish last, you go to the last one. It always helps to go no pressure and just go for it and see what comes out. And I think that helps if you're starting from the back and have no pressure at all. If you, I don't know, maybe like race in Austria, first weekend, I started P2 in race 1. I didn't have the best pace. I finished 8th, and then from there with the reverse grid I started first. And then normally I would expect not to have the good pace again, no. But then we fixed everything, and then I said, okay, I think you just try to put it on mind. Like we seen what was wrong, we fix it. So why can't you be fast now? So
exactly.
So we just start first and do your job and normally work. So I think it's not a big secret to do these things. You just have your own ways to cope with it.
It's super interesting to hear like how drivers try to just get into a mindset of like I need to win here, or I'm gonna win here.
Yeah.
But then there is a lot of stuff you can change in between the 2 races, or is it just some basic stuff? Because in Formula, once you've qualified, you can't change a lot on the car. Formula 1 then, I mean. In the Formula 2 and 3, it's a spec race. So what can you change then during the 2 races?
You can change pretty much all the setup. Okay, during the whole championship you cannot change parts. So you always have the same parts, and you can only change the setup of the car, which is anti-roll bars, springs, dampers, ride height, wings, but those basic stuff. Which at the end makes a lot of difference altogether combined. That's why there's differences between the teams and experience between the teams. But I think it's just it depends how wrong the one before went. If the one was good enough, and even not depending by the position, but if your pace was good, there was not really a change. So you just compensate for the temperature and stuff like that. But I think driving wise, you can always improve and look at the last race and try to improve. But I think it's a pretty straightforward thing for us, just to try to evolve every time we go to the track, even if the race before has been really good. So
yeah, as a race driver, it's just something natural to do,
Yeah.
like try and beat your best
Yeah.
again and
Yeah.
again and
Yeah.
again. Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe we've had quite some talk about racing already, but maybe we can talk a bit about you, about
Yeah,
who you
yeah.
are behind all the racing and all the
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I mean, we've had this talk with every racer already. Racing is what you are,
Yeah.
basically. There's probably not much time for other things.
Yeah.
For example, during the Corona period, you had a lot of time.
Yeah.
Is there anything you did that you were like, oh yeah, now I have finally time to do this?
Sim racing.
Yeah, more racing. Yeah.
It's a classic.
Sleep a bit more.
Classic
Yeah.
answer, yeah. But,
Nah, okay. Of course, half of the quarantine I was here in Holland, close to the team, so I was helping them a little bit to what I could do or not, and a little bit. As you can see behind me, the simulator. I was there quite a lot, helping them to develop the simulator and stuff like that.
Cool.
But and then after that, I went home to Italy, and I think I did it. First of all, when I had to stay locked up in the house, I did a lot of sim racing and also training. But I think after we could go out and after the situation calmed down a little bit, I think I tried to relax a little bit and get ready for the season. So then I was just going around, and of course not in close places of virus until now, obviously, but just just relaxing in my city and staying fresh and training. Obviously, I think it's most important to stay sharp. But
was that difficult for you to have like, oh, it's still so long, but I need to stay sharp? Or
I think it's that's what we do always now, and just try to stay sharp physically, but.
It's easier when it's like the last 2 weeks, like, in 2 weeks we're going racing, and then you can physically really go for it, or is it?
Oh no, actually for me it's the opposite. When I have to prepare before, it's easier. So you have time, you have no, let's say, I wouldn't say pressure, but it's just something natural. You don't have many things to do. But when it's like all these following weeks, one after the other, so you come back after the race and then you need to go training, and then it's not really nice. So sometimes you don't even do it just for pure rest, to relax and then come sharp for the next one. Yeah. So
3 races right after each other is enough training for those.
I think driving is the best training for driving. So so
sounds obvious to me.
So even physically, so it's okay. Not a big deal for me. I think I just after quarantine I just try to stay sharp and train.
Richard told us that when he drives towards the track, in his car he plays hardstyle. Do you drive to the track yourself as well?
Yeah.
What do you play in your car?
Yeah.
I would say I like quite a lot of genres, but I think rap style or R&B, also rock. But normally before the race, to get pumped up, I listen to some rap and some stupid shit. But just
what is your
to
top,
get
what is your top 3 songs to get you ready for racing?
Ooh, wow.
Or the one
or
that
like
you
an
always
top 3 artists, maybe that's easier to.
I don't know. That's to be fair. It's just like I never listen like to a song for all my life. I always try to change and
keep it fresh.
Yeah, but I can try to remember the last race what I was listening to, if I'm not too bad.
Or what did you listen to while you were on the drive here? Just radio music?
Yeah, I think here I was listening to radio, but I think I just try to put some casual songs. Maybe Roddy Ricch. It's a American rapper, which is I like the type of song. It's just getting pumped up. So
just something energetic, something. I guess you.
I mean, maybe hard rock maybe gets me too pumped up, so there's a limit. No,
There's a limit to
Yeah.
the amount of
Yeah.
energy you can get.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I think you have to. There's like a line. if you go too dead for the race, you're like always slow and okay. You're calm, but you have no pressure, but you also have no will to do this stuff. And then if you go too much, then you make mistakes and
Yeah.
you overdo this thing. So there's a line to go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Has it been exhausting that it's been double headers, triple headers for you, or
Yeah, it is exhausting. But I think as a driver, you always want to drive and drive and drive.
Yeah,
So
of course.
Exactly.
I like it, but of course, I think in the third week you arrive, I was like, wow, I'm tired. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this weekend was like a good moment for rest. Triple header.
Yeah,
weekend
yeah,
rest,
yeah.
Another good month coming up, and then
yeah, I think rest is not rest that I say is not. I would say
sleeping. All
It's
day.
sleeping,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just,
obviously.
keeping the sleeping okay, but also switching off and staying with friends and stuff like that. So just
Yeah.
to relax and then
turn on TV, turn on the radio, just
yeah.
go about your day
Yeah.
on the normal pace and not
Yeah.
frantic action,
Yeah.
like running from
I think
here
this
to there.
turn off and turn on, it's good for if you just keep turned on
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the whole year. You just I don't know. I just
It would
feel
be
like
boring.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean you lose some energy.
It's like
So-
a reset for
Yeah.
you, just like a couple
Yeah.
of days.
Yeah.
Don't
Just-
think about.
Just to know, like the high of racing is still a high, and
Yeah.
then just like you need that one weekend to just calm down
Yeah.
again to have like
Yeah.
it's actually
Yeah.
racing again.
Yeah, I think the turn on is pretty important. If you just stay all the time like trying to stay up, and then you just lose this energy. You know, every time you
Yeah.
turn on again, it's always on the top.
I think for us as viewers, it's actually the same. Like if it
Yeah.
would be every weekend, we'd be like, oh no, another weekend of racing. But now it's like we have a weekend off.
Weekend
We're-
off,
We're
yeah.
looking like, what can we do? Like we're
Yeah.
searching for it, and then we can do a podcast here, for
Yeah.
example. Then and then there's a weekend of like, okay, what else can I watch?
Yeah.
And then there's like India, and it's like, okay, nice, that's something else. And then it's looking forward again to like,
Yeah.
Formula One is coming
Yeah.
back, and then
Yeah, same thing for us.
yeah.
At least for me. So
Yeah, no, because it's been a lot of motorsport these couple of weeks, like
It's
especially
been-
for us because we're from Belgium, so we follow the Formula E as well with
Yeah.
Stoffel van Doorne.
yeah,
So yeah, those were like 6 races in 9 days, and then there's
Yeah.
Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3, and you want to see everything, but
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
not enough time for all of it.
yeah.
So I can imagine that it feels quite the same for someone who's actually there, actually
I-
doing the racing.
I think it's even more for someone
Of
who's
course,
actually there, because you need to fly there or
Yeah.
drive
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Get ready, get everything in order, get into your racing mindset, start practicing, start racing,
Yeah.
qualifying.
Of course,
Yeah. I think people don't see how exhausting it is to stay one day in the track. I think for drivers, even sometimes I'm impressed, because sometimes I come up to the end of the day, I say, mate, I did nothing today. I'm completely dying, because it's so mental pressure, and you're thinking all the time what you can do, what you do not do this mistake. So how to prepare, and you just do like, I don't know, 40 minutes practice, and then you come up to the end of the day, you're like, it's finished. It's like, wow. So it's quite impressive.
For you, those 40 minutes practice, does that feel like 40 minutes? Does it feel longer? Is it over in a blink of an eye? Well, how does that feel for you?
It depends from how the situation goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes, I don't know, if it's going wrong and want to have more time, maybe it feels shorter. If you're P1 in the first outing, you want to finish earlier, and then it feels longer. So it's just normal. You just don't think about the time.
Mm-hmm.
Second race in Spain must have been really fast for you because you're just gone through the first corner.
No, it was actually the opposite, because it was long, because I was like gone, and then I was like, mate.
Then you're race everyone.
Yeah, but then you're like, oh, okay, this needs to finish now, because
I'm first here.
yeah, and I think it was pretty straightforward. I could pull a good gap and stay there. Like like really relaxed. I was really talking to my engineer, like having a conversation with him.
What does that conversation sound like? Because if Max Verstappen is like driving and doing, he's telling his engineer to hydrate. So what do you talk about with your engineer when you have time?
It depends. Well, normally he was during the race at least. He was talking to me about tire temperatures and how which tire I had to take more of it. But it depends. Of course, when there's like a frantic race, you're in the middle of the pack and trying to fight, you're gonna be shouting and not answering everything. But at least that race was really, really calm for me. Probably one of the calmest races I ever done. So I was in between corners, just like, okay, copy, and okay, I'm taking care of the tires. Yeah, I see that tire is like this. So it's it feels good when the race is finished at least, and you finish the day like, okay, it's I'm not exhausted, but sometimes you do the same job and then it's so frantic that you finish the day like. Oh.
It was a nice day in the office.
Yeah, for sure. Compensate the day before, which was not ideal for me, but
Well, it was ideal for the team, but
it was ideal for the team. But
there was a weird weekend. Like, see you then.
Yeah, you started from pole, but then due to all the safety cars and maybe just wrong calls, just to not delve too deep into what happened there, and then you win on the second day. Must have felt great for both the team and yourself that you were able to do it after all. Just make that victory work.
It was not nice for me. To be fair, I was really pissed after the first race.
I can imagine.
I started P4 and then fell back to P5 and then worked my way up, and the strategy was really good. For the first one, I could manage the soft tires in the first 12 laps. I did like 12 laps, and nobody could do that. Everybody could do 8 laps or something. And then after I put the hards, I was flying. I went up to P2, and then the safety car came on. Was not a team, it was just normal procedure, because I caught Nobu, and my teammate, he was in front of me. So he had the preference to do the pit stop, and he still hadn't done the pit stop until that time. So because he was in the opposite strategy. So then everybody went to the pits to pit, and I couldn't because he was there. Or maybe we should have double stacked, but that's another story. But and then I lost a lot of time. He gained with a lot of that, which is okay, which is good for the team. But I lost a lot. I went from P2 to P9. And because of that, so it was not nice. And then talking about how you prepare for the race, and I was really pissed. And then the day after, I was like, I'm starting P2, I'm just gonna win it. I just couldn't think about anything else because
just that extra motivation for yourself.
Yeah, but I never had that actually, to be fair.
Angry fire inside of you.
I was really, 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 really like. I had no doubt I was going to win it. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna win it, but I'm gonna win it.
I'm gonna do it.
Actually, super cool. It's like I am gonna do this, and
it was normally I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try and see what comes out, and I have never sure of anything. But that day I was like, wow, I am gonna win this, and then it was like pretty nice to finish 9 seconds ahead.
Do you feel that it awakened something new inside of you that you can now use in other races as well? Or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think is this confidence is it's always good, but something like that I never had. So I think something like this I'm gonna use for sure in the next one.
Yeah. Super cool. So you're indeed driving together with Nobuhara. Is that he's a little more experienced in F2? Did you learn a lot from him, or is that pretty separate? I don't know how that relationship works.
No.
I mean, on track you're probably rivals because you're allowed to race free, but then off track, is he?
Yeah. We helping each other really a lot, and in the first test where let's say we had the first contact together, he really helped me, and I learned a lot from him, especially maybe. Not really talking to him. Okay, we talk a lot. We're friends and everything, but looking from the data, I think is the most important point. And we just to have a good teammate on the side of you, just to learn everything you have to do. And for sure, I learned a lot. I think first day I was like you just see like visual improvement, like P10 or P12, I don't know, and then the next day I was like P5, and the final day I was like P2. So that was like really a big learning curve.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have a teammate like him to learn and to learn from, and also if I can push him, it's also nice. So we both improve together.
Yeah. So he actually makes you better. Yeah. By making you better, he makes himself better because he needs to be better too.
Yeah.
Try and keep beating
you.
Yeah. That's actually.
It's a pretty interesting dynamic, actually.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I think many teams that have won or have been successful in junior formulas is simply because of this. Maybe they didn't have the best car, but if you have the best drivers, it's not because you have the best drivers you're gonna win, but it's because they're gonna improve themselves.
By working together or being fair rivals.
Yeah, not saying we are the best drivers, but I mean, if you have two good drivers that can help each other.
I mean, you've both won races, so you're with one of the best drivers.
Thank you, but hopefully.
Statistics show.
Hopefully.
But
I think that's really important to have two drivers, let's say, in the same level. Each time you just he improved that, I need to improve this, and improve this, I need to improve that. So it just keeps going.
You're clearly also in quite good hands here at MP Motorsport, because they're doing very well in F4. They're doing very good in F3, and they're also doing very good in F2. So I mean, it also comes with probably the experience of the drivers and the mechanics. But you said the first time you came here, you felt very welcome, very warm. You did simulator work and stuff. Do you feel that helped you connect with the team? Did you do something special Did you do some efforts to like really get to know the people and stuff?
I think in the beginning of the year, during the whole year it's better, but especially at the beginning of the year, you have to, as a driver, have to spend time with the team and getting to know them and try to make that connection as early as possible in the year. So because that's really important, especially in between driver and engineer, which is, let's say, my direct contact in the race now, and that's really important.
Your line towards the world behind racing.
And he's relying on me, and I'm relying on him. So it's pretty important to have that relationship before the first race, and that's what I try to do.
Can you maybe talk a bit about that relationship? Is he also like mental support towards you during the race, or is that all you?
No, for sure he supports me, especially because let's say we have 4 engineers in F2, so 2 for each driver, and 3 of these guys are Italian, so it's good for me talking in Italian sometimes, and especially because then nobody can understand if they broadcast it on TV. I think it was good to me to have this coincidence that they are Italian, and I'm living in Italy for 6 years, so I can kind of consider myself half Italian. Because I have also passport and everything, so I'm well introduced to Italy, and I think it's good for them to have this kind of relationship. And also Nobu was with his engineer this year. It was his engineer last year in another team. So the whole technical team in MP is different, but in a way is quite already, let's say, engaged with each other. So it's been really, really nice.
But that's something we often forget. Like, there is not just the driver and the mechanic, but there's actually a whole team behind it. I mean, there's people down there working on the cars right now who are, I guess, just as important as anyone in the whole team, because if the car is not up to spec, you're not gonna make the race.
Of course. The same way I rely on my engineer to have the good setup. He relies on the mechanics. For example, if I don't know, he tells the mechanics to, I don't know, go lower over the rear, change the ride height by 2 millimeters, and he doesn't do it properly, you can either destroy the setup of the car,
Yeah.
or also be out of regulation. So you have to. It's not that the engineer is gonna check every time that he needs to trust the guy to save time. Also, especially because you tell him to do something and you know he's gonna do what you want him to do. And same thing with this relationship in between mechanics and engineers, drivers and mechanics, engineers and drivers. So this engagement is really it's really important.
And how much do you have to say in how your car is set up? Do you say like, oh, I like this better, or I like that better? And what do you like better? And, I know some people like their car to have a little less or more over understeering. I lost my words, but I think you understand what I mean.
Well, first of all, I think as a driver, most important thing is not trying to make the setup. It's just trying to give the right feedback, and then to make your engineer understand what is happening with the car and what you want, and then he's gonna do the proper changes. But of course, you try to help if you really know. But let's say, as I trust them, already I was telling you about this, you have to trust them what they want to do with the car and everything. So my job is to give the perfect feedback about the car, and he is going to look into the data and what was happening. If the data correlates to what I was saying, then we make a change. And yeah, I think I do like the car. I don't know, to be fair, everybody says, I like the oversteer, I like the understeer and stuff like that, but at the end it just depends on track to track. And normally if I have to take a general thing throughout my whole career, I've always liked to have a more stable car, which is, let's say, towards the understeer, but you never want to have understeer. Normally oversteer is faster, but if you have just a tiny bit of understeer, it gives you a lot of confidence, at least for me. So it's personal stuff. So yeah, it's quite personal stuff for the drivers and also for the engineer too. Another thing that he has to understand what I like. No, it doesn't. Maybe he takes a Nobu setup and put it on my car. Maybe a Nobu's P1, and he put it on my car, and I cannot do anything with it. Exactly. So he needs to know also what I want.
Yeah, that's something we talked about in our podcast as well. What we saw last year with Gasly driving actually a Red Bull that is clearly not made for him, and he not being able to do anything with it. Then you have Albon that comes in and can actually drive the car, but maybe it was just built more for how he wants it, and he gets away with it.
A car in itself is not interchangeable.
Exactly.
I think, because as you said, you can't just sit in Nobu's car and then think, oh, he got P1 today, I'll get P1 tomorrow. That's not gonna work out.
The car needs to work with you.
And same other way around. If I like something, it's
doesn't mean
he's gonna like it. And normally we like different balances as standard. So it's
just changing a simple thing might mean that you're just wrestling the car the entire race instead of just driving smoothly. So I can understand that.
Of course, it's a good driver can always adapt. I think that's the number one strength that a driver can have, just to adapt to every car and every situation, every setup. Because 90% of the times you go to the track, they never have perfect balance. So you have to adapt to it. But if it's way off what you like, then it's difficult, and that's for the...
you do want a car as close to perfect as you can, and then you adapt to whatever is missing.
All right. I want to get back. You raced with Sargent last year. Now you're split up. Do you still keep contact, or is that he's purely a rival now, or how does that? How does the paddock work for you? Is that you keep to your team, or?
I normally try to stay with my team, especially this year. We cannot go around because of COVID, but we sometimes meet each other in the team in the paddock, and I'm pretty good friends with him and talk, but. It's not something we
You don't go out of your way to go say hi.
No.
If you pass him, you will be nice and have a little chat. Obviously, from a distance right now.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're going over to his box like, hey, how was the race? Yeah, nice. You ready for it?
No,
Yeah, exactly.
never do that.
You're more rivals in that aspect then.
It's not rivals because we're not in the same category at least. But
No, but yeah.
But yeah, we just let's say friends. But
yeah,
you
but I know what you mean.
Yeah, you're not. You just focus on what you have to do, and you don't think about the others.
Yeah.
You're busy with your own race.
Yeah,
and that's the more important part for your weekend.
Yeah.
Of course. So something else. Just turning back to what we've already talked about. You've quite raced all over the world at this point, and from my perspective, because Brazil and now Europe and then Asia. Is there a favorite track that you have?
I've always really liked Silverstone and Spa.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Fast tracks.
yeah, it's not fast tracks, but it's I like flowy tracks.
Yeah.
Even I don't know, last sector Abu Dhabi, everybody hates it because it's so slow and 90 degrees, but there's a flow to it and I like it. So
Okay.
so it's that kind of like a continuously moving around.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah.
So when the car moves to the rap music, it works for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's not.
It's not only rap.
No, of course, but
Yeah,
but that's actually I can see how certain tracks for people just watching from outside of it can seem like boring or just nothing's going on. But as a driver, because you're actually doing something at that point, it can feel a lot better because you say like that flow. I can definitely see, especially in Spa, how there's that flow to that track.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How it works out.
Maybe I think one of the ultimate tracks I want to get to know is Suzuka because especially the first sector is only flowing.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the kind of things I like in the track. I think those Maggots and Beckets and Silverstone and also the slow ones are also quite nice. So I think I cannot really explain. I say flow because
but that is actually a term that is super important for top athletes. Flow is like a state of mind you get into where every move you do is almost choreographed in your head even before you do it, and you know what's gonna happen. And
I know
it happens in
a
the
lot
exact
about that as well.
Yeah,
because
it's
something I really struggled with last year. Is that and this year I'm pretty good with it.
Yeah, it's a super cool state to be in. I mean, I'm a gamer myself.
Yeah.
I like, for example, I play some rhythm games in VR.
Yeah.
And that is also one of the very few moments I have that feeling, and it's quite cool to have.
Yeah, if you think about it, you make a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. And then by the time you're done, you're like, oh wow, I just finished this, and I didn't actually make too many mistakes, and I didn't have to think about it. That's a very nice state to be in.
Yeah, I think one of the things I really struggled last year was this, and I think it comes from the pressure and everything. You go to the track and you're like, okay, now I have to do this, but you're not really confident. So then
it's a circle.
You think too much, and then you make a mistake, and then you lose confidence and stuff like that. If you just in the back of your mind, you know you're capable of, you have this confidence, and then just go to the track and just of course you have to study everything before and know what you have to do, but when you're actually doing it, you just go and don't think about it. It's when really the best laps come out.
Exactly.
Is that something you train in a simulator or at home now with simulation games as well? Is that something you can replicate, or is it the combination of everything, the physical feeling of driving a car, or is it something you can do just with a steering wheel and a screen, for example?
I can kind of do it, but it's nothing like the proper thing.
Yeah.
You have all the feelings, like you feel the car move and you feel yourself move at speed. I think that's things you cannot replicate, I suppose.
Yeah. But I think the whole environment, the whole background, like you build up to it in your sim. You just you have a shower and then you go to the to the simulator, and then you don't have this rhythm behind. And then on race weekends you have like 3 days behind, and you're just building up to it, and trying to learn what you have to do in that exact moment. And then when you have to do it, and then you just don't think and do it properly, and then it's really nice feeling if you really succeed in that moment.
Okay.
One more thing I want to come back to, and it's like we talked about you driving to the circuits yourself, and then we talked about your music. But I want to know what car you drive. What is your daily driver? Like, you're not driving around in a Formula car to the races.
No.
So what do you drive?
I have a BMW 1 Series.
Yeah, same as mine.
M140i.
Okay.
It's
not the same.
Something else, yeah.
it's a really nice car.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have like a 120i.
Mm.
And then we got some good discount on this one, and then I was like, oh, my uncle was like, yeah, take that one. I was like, oh, thank you.
Exactly.
And then so it's really nice car. I try to drive everywhere I can. Of course, I'm not gonna drive to Russia, but like some far places, even to England. I went from Italy to England driving because.
So it's something you enjoy. Like you can drive hard on a track, but then if you just have to drive, for example, Italy to England, it's something you enjoy completely.
Yeah, I think I don't mind. Okay, I really enjoy driving short trips, like 100 kilometers and maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
But like long trips is not that enjoyable. But I think especially in the situation we are now, avoiding airports is always important.
Of course.
So if I can stay in my car and just drive, also because I don't like airports, I don't like flying. So then if I just can sit on my car in the door of my house and get out of my car in the door of my hotel, it's even if it takes double of the time, it's okay for me.
Yeah. And if you had unlimited money, whatever you want, what car would you buy?
Ooh. I would take more than one for sure. But
no, you can only buy one.
You can just buy the one.
Oh, yeah. I can only buy one.
Yeah.
So I have to daily drive that.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Well, maybe not. Maybe you keep the BMW.
You keep the BMW as a daily driver.
Okay.
But then you have the weekend car. Which one do you choose?
I think McLaren 765 LT.
Right.
The new one.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. Probably that one.
Yeah. And if you could have two.
Then I would probably take like a massive SUV.
Yeah.
With the 700 horsepower or something like that.
Yeah, so like a Brabus G-Class.
Something like that.
Something insane like that.
And then for off-roading or just really just...
No, just drive.
Okay.
Just drive.
I think, but if I would have more, I would have one SUV and probably 20 supercars. So, I think there's like this cars that cost, I don't know, McLaren Senna and stuff like that I would have. But I think that's already have my race car, so like a supercar already, like a 765 LT is already too much, so it's okay.
Something sensible for the road, I can see that. So you'd love to fill like Lando Norris' shoes, like being at McLaren in the F1.
I wouldn't be sorry for that.
I wouldn't say no if they came by Paddock. Yeah.
Is there a favorite team you have? Like maybe not just for driving, but as in you like watching or supporting?
Not really. Of course, you like as teams, not as results. But I really like Mercedes and Ferrari.
Obviously,
I think it's the whole. How can I say? The whole history and environment in between the team. Of course, Ferrari wouldn't be so good this year, but as we are now in the situation we are in F2, I think any team is good enough. So
okay, like that.
Yeah, if I had to choose to go to F1, anyone would be nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I understand that. I mean, any F1 team is like a ticket to one of the big teams.
Yeah, of course. I think to get to a big team, first you have to get to F1. So
yeah, exactly.
And today is so limited. It's only 20 drivers, and most of the drivers are old drivers that are there for 10 years, and they keep choosing the same drivers. So the opportunities are
Haas, Mercedes. I mean, if it works, it works. That doesn't mean that's maybe not as nice for you guys. That there's just not a lot of spaces going around.
Yeah. I think the right thing to do would be more teams.
Yeah.
But
it's expensive.
But not many teams in the world can do that. Yeah. And as you said, they keep choosing drivers and same ones and not choosing Ferrari, Red Bull, Renault, they have tons of academy junior drivers, and they choose a driver that's already been 10 years in F1.
Exactly. Yeah,
And there's some
really
choices.
I really don't understand. Yeah, but imagine now, 2 years from now or 1 year from now, you're done with F2, but there's no space in F1. What do you do? Or is that a problem for them? Would you go to, for example, what Nick de Vries did to Formula E?
Yeah, I think I would do it. Of course, I prefer something with fuel, but
of course, yeah.
But I think the category itself is really nice, and everybody's liking it. But there are also many other options, like I don't know, Super Formula or LMP1 or LMP2 or whatever. So many other good categories in the world that you can live from.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, now it's only F1 we try to focus on.
Yeah, of course.
All right, but then to pose the question differently, as we did with everyone, you cannot drive open-wheel Formula cars. What do you do? If you, for example, tomorrow something happens, you cannot drive open wheels anymore. Open wheelers.
Yeah. LMP1?
LMP1?
LMP1.
Yeah. All right, cool.
That's an answer we've heard before as well.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
But yeah, you've got the Le Mans Prestige, of course. You've got the
exactly.
Heritage. You got
Probably it's gonna be the hypercar category, which is gonna be
the new
massive.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be nice.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
So this might be a silly question, but seeing as you're a Brazilian driver, are comparisons being made to like Ayrton Senna, Bruno Senna, that are successful Brazilian drivers and probably kickstarted the whole craze in Brazil?
Mm-hmm.
People made the comparison like, oh, you're gonna be as great a driver as he was, or is that something you don't want to be compared with?
You cannot be compared with Senna.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
But
Well, you can, but
at some point it stops.
Why
of
would
course.
you? He's him. I'm trying to be better than him.
Yeah.
What we're trying to be is also always best, and even Senna made mistakes, so he's not the best there is. I mean, of course, the best there was, but
but I understand where
he was not like
it's
not 100% all the time, and I think Brazilian people they are really supportive. And they're always, if you're winning, you're the best and best there is, and you're gonna be to F1. And then as soon as you do like a not so good result, they just you're not good enough. But
there's a lot of pride in for Brazilian people.
At least the situation. I mean, now that I've been doing good, they are really supporting me and being nice.
So you left Brazil where you have this, and then you go to Italy, where you have this times 10. Right?
Yeah. What do you mean, sir?
You have Brazil where people cheer you on when you win and are not very happy with you when you lose.
Yeah.
And then you go to Italy, where people cheer you on massively when you win and just forget you when you lose. Looking at Sebastian Vettel right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. To be fair, I don't really have many Italian fans or people that follow me. I think most of the people in the paddock don't even know I live in Italy.
Right.
Okay. Maybe it's gonna change now.
Yeah. And many people, like most of the motorsport fans or pages or Instagram accounts from Italy, they don't even know I speak Italian or anything like that.
But just in case when you become bigger, you will already be used to it. So that's already good.
Yeah, that's okay. For sure, I'm 100% Brazilian, so I'm fine with the situation I am now. Whole Brazil is following me and helping me and supporting, so it's okay.
So
must be a nice feeling to have like an entire country behind you.
Yeah.
So the only thing you need to do is win, and then everybody will be happy.
Yeah. I think my social media went like crazy after the first win, and until now it's just gone. I think it's gone quadrupled my followers because of Brazilians that followed me because of results. So it's quite nice.
It's really cool, yeah.
All right.
And does that play into your life a lot? Do you need to do your social media, or is that helped here by the people of MP?
If I do it myself?
I
do
you put a lot of work into it as well? Or you just share funny stuff?
I just share results. I share every time I try to do like a post of results and serious stuff. but also like some funny stuff. Not I don't take it too serious. Before I didn't take it serious at all. But like I mean, not serious, but I didn't take it. It wasn't something that I was too focused on.
Yeah.
Now because I have many people following me, then I try to give some attention and post some stuff. But I'm not the guy that not a social influencer.
Do you get some guidelines here from Louis, then, that is the social media manager for?
Yeah, I think they MP posts a lot of stuff and a lot of quotes that we say and results. So then it's nice for me to
just repost.
Repost that. I think my accounts are completely done by me. Nobody else has a password, so it's okay.
All right. I think we can end on that note. Unless you have any more questions.
I think we're time-wise we're fine. I have plenty more, but maybe that's for
another time.
Because otherwise, I think we would be sitting as we said when we started. We will be sitting.
We'd be here hours. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hopefully, I can come back and with some more good results, then we can take.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that was something we were thinking about. Maybe for the future to have guests that have been here to be like at the end of the season, like, hey, remember when you were here?
Yeah.
What do you think about this or this or that?
Yeah, it should be fine for me, of course.
Exactly.
Are there any tracks you're looking forward to? I mean, Spa is this weekend, but any else? Because I don't know. Yeah, Mugello, you've probably done in the regionals.
No. I've never. Of course, Spa is one of my favorites, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Also not the first time you heard that.
And Monza, it's really close to my house. It's also nice to have many friends there. Shame that we cannot bring anyone to the track now, but last time I brought many friends to the track. And Mugello, it's new to me. I've been in the track, but I've never driven there. I've just been watching races there. But for onboards and what everybody says is a really amazing track, and visually is really amazing, and so it's gonna be nice
to have enough. That's the track that's only 2 days, right?
No, that's Imola, and that's not for Formula 2 or
no. It's not confirmed. I mean, it's for us until Sochi is confirmed, and then for F1 they confirmed Nürburgring, Portimao, and Imola. But then after Sochi they still have to confirm 2 races for us.
Okay.
But we don't know which of those 3 is going to be, or if they're going to put Bahrain and Abu Dhabi at the end of the year.
Yeah, there was a leak somewhere that was talking about it. I'm not very sure how real it was, that there would be Abu Dhabi and Bahrain, but unconfirmed.
That's what I heard as well. But
by the time that this comes out, maybe there
probably
will be more news. But for now, for all we know, is it's unconfirmed. But I would love, like, Abu Dhabi needs to be the closure of the F1 season.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's been like that.
It's always been.
It's maybe not the best track, but you know.
But it's such a nice race. It's a night race.
Yeah, also for me, because never. Okay, I've driven in Abu Dhabi with MRF in the night, but I really like driving in the night. So with F2 should be really nice with the pit stop and also pit exit. It was really nice there. So it's quite
a tricky one, right? It's the underground one.
Yeah. So it's cold tires. For F1 it's easier because they come up there, they have the tire heaters.
Yeah, of course.
For us it's nice.
Maybe because you say tires, like this year F2 has been with the 18-inch wheels?
Yes.
Is that different, or how does that feel as a driver, driving with those larger...
It feels quite a bit different, especially because the car is 30 kilos heavier.
Okay.
So each wheel, like I think the front wheels are like 5 kilos heavier, and the rears are like 6.5. So it's really, the car was already heavy, and now it's like
it's even heavier.
It's a truck, and so for braking is quite different because of the inertia of the tires. Everything is bigger, so then to stop those wheels is quite difficult. So we really have to use your left leg pressing the brake, and but also I think the tire management is different now. The way the tires integrate is quite different, and also because of the sidewall of the tire, it's smaller. The other one, everything was the suspension of the car was the tire basically, and now it's a lot less. So the car is a lot more, let's say, tricky to drive. It's more snappy.
Yeah.
So it's I like the way it is now because it gives you a little bit more feeling. But when it goes, it's like it loses grip. It loses a lot more sudden than before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's things you have to learn with it, but it's not a completely different car.
All right.
Yeah.
It just looks different for us. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, starting next year, 2022, F1 is gonna have the same wheels as well.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, wow. And then 2022 is going to be the full new.
The full rule change. Yeah.
Are they going to have the new wheels or next year?
I don't know if they'll have them next year.
No. Next year
I think they were going to introduce the 18-inch wheels together with the other aerodynamics changes. They're implementing.
Next year is completely same. Same thing.
Except that you can't change
the chassis.
Yeah. That those new rules around the whole aerodynamic cannot change too much or X amount of points or something that they're going to use. It's a bit bizarre.
Complicated system, and then you have the budget caps that come into play and stuff like that. But
it's going to be special for McLaren, especially because they're going to go with a new engine supplier, and then it's going to be all weird.
Yeah.
Is that something?
Hopefully they can do good because
yeah,
Mercedes engines and they are doing good now.
Yeah,
and I think the biggest deficit is straight line speed.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that something you enjoy when you're at the track? Just watching the F1, or are you someone who goes home and then watches on TV?
No. I really enjoy watching it, and it's also really important for us because it's same track at the same moment. So, especially if it's raining or not, you have to know if the track is drying up or not. Now, it's nice also now that we have F1 TV.
Yeah.
So you can choose the onboards from the drivers in F1, so you can really see lines they're taking, and you can really correlate to what we were doing in the track. Right. So it's really more interesting than it looks from outside. We can really learn from that.
Yeah, because onboards are fun for us because it's something else, but it's really interesting to hear that it's actually a tool for you to learn something out of it.
And same thing with F3. If you watch F3, you can really learn from it and see what the drivers are doing. So I think some drivers don't really care about it, but of course they care about it. But I think if you really want to learn from it and look at it, you can really extract things from it. So it's quite nice.
It's nice to hear.
Maybe one last closing question: wet or dry race?
I've always liked wet, but I think dry is dry. Dry is proper racing for me.
Yeah, true. But you're going to Belgium next week.
Yeah, so it's wet. I just said I've been always a fan of wet racing. I've been always quick. Always liked it. But if I could choose one weather to race the rest of my life, I would choose dry for sure.
Dry racing,
All right.
Very cool. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, hope to see you on the podium.
Yeah, hopefully we can come back here with more great results.
More results
with some new trophies.
Yeah, exactly. All right, no, thanks for being here. Thanks for your time.
Yep, thank you very much.
We'll
see you on track.
Exactly.